Most people think tingling hands and weak legs are just part of getting older, but nearly 1 in 3 seniors are actually showing signs of nerve damage because of silent nutrient loss, which you might not understand yet. But after this episode, you will. So stay with us. According to a 2023 National Institutes of Health review, collagen production naturally declines by 1% per year after age 50, but that rate triples with inflammation, poor diet, or certain medications, and yet most seniors are never told that the pins and needles in their hands or the weakness in their legs could be coming from something as simple and fixable as what's missing from their plate. After decades of treating patients and studying the patterns of aging, I've watched this unfold countless times. Seniors come in describing weakness, numbness, or stiffness, and they've been told it's normal, that it's just what happens after 60. But that belief keeps them stuck treating symptoms instead of rebuilding what their body's missing. And I want to be very clear about something right from the start. This isn't about blaming anyone for their condition. It's about understanding that we've been looking in the wrong direction for answers. Many seniors are told it's arthritis, or poor circulation, or just aging. And that's where the confusion begins, because if they're treating the wrong issue, they lose precious time. They chase creams, medications, or worse, start limiting their movement, which only accelerates decline. I've seen patients who stopped gardening because their knees hurt. They stopped cooking because their hands felt weak. They stopped walking to the store because their legs felt unreliable. And with each activity they give up, they lose a little more strength, a little more confidence, and a little more independence. That's why this approach through food and understanding is such a critical shift. We're not just addressing symptoms. We're rebuilding the foundation. Let me walk you through these 8 foods, and I promise you, they're not only healing but practical. You won't need to shop at specialty stores or spend a fortune. These are foods that have been around for generations, and now we understand exactly why they work at the cellular level. The first one surprises people because it feels too indulgent to be medicinal. I'm talking about dark chocolate, real dark chocolate with 80% cacao or more. It's loaded with flavonols that stimulate stem cell activity, lower inflammation, and help your body regenerate collagen naturally. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Chocolate, really? That's medicine? And yes, when it's the right kind, it absolutely is. The flavonols in dark chocolate do something remarkable. They activate pathways in your cells that increase the production of collagen and elastin. They also improve blood flow, which means better nutrient delivery to your joints and nerves. Studies have shown that regular consumption of high cacao chocolate can reduce markers of inflammation by up to 20%. That's significant when you consider that chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of collagen breakdown. These symptoms are real and they're widespread, but far too often they're misdiagnosed or dismissed. A senior says their hands are tingling or their legs feel like jelly, and they're told to wait and see or take painkillers. No one checks if the nerves and joints are even being supported properly. No one asks about their diet, their hydration, or whether their body has the building blocks it needs to repair itself. That's why today's episode matters. We're going to walk through 8 collagen-rich snacks that support nerve function, joint repair, and muscle strength, all backed by science and all made from foods you already recognize. These are simple healing options that can be added to your daily life without pills or complex treatments. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand not just what to eat, but why it works, how your body uses these nutrients, and what changes you can realistically expect to see. The symptoms might be real, but if we miss the cause, we misread the solution. Pain, tingling, and weakness, they're messages, not just problems. And if we only silence the message without fixing the cause, the damage quietly continues. Your body is trying to tell you something important. It's saying, I don't have what I need to maintain these systems. And when we ignore that message, when we just cover it up with medication or write it off as inevitable aging, we're missing an opportunity to actually restore function. Here's what most people don't realize. No one connects collagen with mobility or with those strange tingling sensations that seniors often describe. And yet, it's one of the most fundamental components for nerve insulation and tissue repair. Collagen makes up about 30% of the protein in your body. It's in your skin, your bones, your tendons, your ligaments, and critically, it's part of the protective sheath around your nerves. When it breaks down faster than it's rebuilt, symptoms start showing up, often in places we least expect. You might notice your hands going numb when you're trying to open a jar. Your knees might ache after a short walk. Your ankles might feel unstable on uneven ground. These aren't separate problems. They're all connected to the same underlying issue. But before you get too excited, chocolate actually helps rebuild collagen only if it's the right kind. Low in sugar, high in cacao, and ideally paired with ingredients like almonds and goji berries. Those additions bring amino acids and vitamin C, which your body needs to turn that chocolate into real repair. The sugar in cheap chocolate will actually work against you, spiking your blood sugar and increasing inflammation. So we're talking about quality here, not quantity. A small square or two of 80% or higher dark chocolate, paired with a handful of raw almonds and maybe 6 to 8 goji berries. That's your serving. So it's not just about the chocolate. It's about how you combine it. You're taking foods people already enjoy, then tweaking them to nourish deeper systems, joints, nerves, energy. And in doing that, you're restoring confidence in the body again. I've had patients tell me that this simple change, having this as an afternoon snack instead of cookies or candy, made them feel more alert, less achy, and more motivated to stay active. And that motivation matters because healing isn't just physical, it's psychological too. The second option is one most people overlook entirely: gelatin, not the sugary dessert, but real unflavored gelatin made from collagen-rich animal tissue. When paired with antioxidant-rich fruit juice, it becomes a snack that's not only gentle on the stomach, but powerful for joint healing and nerve support. Now, I know gelatin doesn't sound exciting. It doesn't have the appeal of chocolate or tropical fruit. But hear me out, because the research on this is compelling. Gelatin seems so simple, almost too basic to be therapeutic. And yet, studies show it can reduce joint pain by over 30% when consumed before light exercise. It delivers the exact amino acids like glycine and proline that the body uses to rebuild worn-down tissues. These are the same amino acids your body would extract from bone broth or collagen supplements, but in a form that's incredibly easy to prepare and digest. This tiny wobbly snack can actually help someone walk with less pain, reduce that dull ache in the knees or stiffness in the fingers, not by numbing the pain, but by repairing what's broken. That's a totally different philosophy from the average medicine cabinet. Here's how it works at the cellular level. When you consume gelatin, your digestive system breaks it down into those amino acids I mentioned. Your body then uses those building blocks to synthesize new collagen fibers. These fibers get incorporated into your cartilage, your tendons, your ligaments, and the protective sheaths around your nerves. Over time, with consistent intake, you're literally rebuilding the structures that have been wearing down. And again, it's something people can make in their own kitchen. You can mix a tablespoon of unflavored gelatin with a cup of pomegranate juice or tart cherry juice. Let it set in the fridge, and you have a therapeutic snack ready to go. The timing matters too. Research suggests that consuming gelatin about an hour before gentle movement or exercise enhances its effectiveness. So if you're planning a morning walk, having this snack beforehand could maximize the benefit. Your body will direct those amino acids to the tissues that are being used and stressed during the activity. The third option is older than any supplement on the shelf: chicken bone broth. When simmered slowly, it releases collagen, glycine, and proline, which are critical for repairing connective tissue and soothing irritated nerves. Just half a cup a day can begin restoring joint fluidity and easing those pins and needles sensations in the hands. This is something my grandmother made throughout her life, not because she knew the science, but because it was tradition. And now we understand why those traditions existed. They worked. This isn't just comfort food. It's functional medicine straight from the kitchen. And it doesn't require anything fancy. Leftover chicken bones, a splash of vinegar, and thyme are really all you need. You can throw in some carrots, celery, and onion if you want more flavor. But the therapeutic components come primarily from the bones and the long, slow simmer. The vinegar helps pull the minerals and collagen out of the bones, making them easier for the body to absorb. The result is a rich gel-like broth that signals healing at the cellular level. When you make it properly, bone broth will actually gel when it cools. That gel is pure collagen. And when you reheat it and drink it, you're giving your body a concentrated dose of exactly what it needs. You can sip it plain, use it as a base for soup, or even add it to other dishes for an extra nutritional boost. And this isn't a temporary fix. Taken consistently, it nourishes the tissue linings around nerves and joints, areas that are often starved in the aging body. Over time, that means better movement, less friction, and fewer of those strange, hard-to-describe sensations in the limbs. I've had patients describe it as feeling like their joints are lubricated again, like the grinding or clicking they'd grown used to just disappears. That's because you're literally providing the raw materials to rebuild the cushioning and support structures. The amino acids in bone broth also calm the gut lining, which lowers systemic inflammation, a hidden driver of both joint pain and neuropathy. There's a growing body of research showing that gut health and inflammation are linked to nerve health. When your gut lining is damaged or inflamed, it allows particles into your bloodstream that trigger an immune response. That immune response creates inflammation throughout your body, including in the delicate tissues surrounding your nerves. By healing the gut, you're reducing that inflammatory cascade. This is why I often say that true healing doesn't begin in the pharmacy. It begins with the broth pot. Many older adults have the ingredients, the bones, the carrots, the leftover vegetables, but they never think to use them this way. They think healing has to come from a box or a pill. But this is wisdom that predates modern medicine and now backed by real science. The pharmaceutical industry has tried to isolate and package these nutrients, but there's something about getting them from whole food sources that makes them more bioavailable, more effective, and gentler on the body. For those looking for something brighter, cooler, maybe even hydrating, the fourth option is one of the most refreshing and underestimated: cantaloupe with mint and lime. Just 1 cup of cantaloupe gives you over 60% of your daily vitamin C, which is essential for collagen synthesis. When paired with lime and pistachios, it becomes a hydrating, anti-inflammatory snack that supports both joints and circulation. This is perfect for warm days or for people who struggle with appetite in the heat. This sounds more like something you'd see at a summer brunch than a nerve support treatment. And that's the beauty of it. Healing doesn't have to be bitter or boring. This snack cools the body, supports connective tissue, and helps reduce that stiffness that makes mornings so hard for many seniors. Cantaloupe is also rich in beta-carotene, which converts to vitamin A in your body. Vitamin A is crucial for maintaining healthy mucous membranes and for supporting immune function. When you combine that with the vitamin C, you're getting a 1-2 punch for tissue repair. The mint in this combination isn't just for flavor. Mint has natural anti-inflammatory compounds that can help soothe the digestive tract and reduce bloating. It also has a cooling effect that many people find helps with circulation. The lime adds extra vitamin C and a bit of acidity that helps your body absorb the nutrients more effectively. Ideally, eat this mid-morning or mid-afternoon when hydration tends to drop and energy dips. That's when the body really benefits from vitamin C, electrolytes, and anti-inflammatory support. Many seniors don't drink enough water, and they don't realize that chronic dehydration contributes to joint pain and nerve dysfunction. Foods with high water content, like cantaloupe, help address that issue while providing nutrition at the same time. The pistachios are rich in healthy fats, fiber, and a bit of protein, all of which reduce inflammation and help the body absorb vitamin C more effectively. Plus, the crunch slows down eating, which helps with digestion and satiety. There's also evidence that the specific fats in pistachios support nerve health. They contain compounds that help maintain the myelin sheath, the protective coating around nerve fibers that allows signals to travel efficiently. It's not just a snack, it's a microdose of mobility support, helping the knees feel looser, the hands less puffy, the body more awake. It's also easy on the teeth and gums, which is important for seniors who struggle with chewing or dental discomfort. Small details like that make a big difference in whether someone sticks with a habit. If a food is difficult to eat, painful to chew, or requires a lot of preparation, people simply won't do it consistently. And consistency is everything when we're talking about rebuilding tissues. If it's not enjoyable, it's not sustainable. And when it comes to food-based healing, consistency is everything. Which brings us to the fifth option, something many people already have in their kitchen: tomatoes. But there's a twist on how to make them more powerful. Most people think of tomatoes as a salad vegetable, something you eat raw. And while raw tomatoes are certainly nutritious, there's a way to make them even more therapeutic. The twist is warmth. Most people eat tomatoes raw, which is fine, but lightly warming or cooking them actually increases the lycopene absorption, a key antioxidant that protects existing collagen. When you pair that with vitamin C and healthy fats, it becomes a snack that supports both tissue repair and nerve stability. Lycopene is one of the most powerful antioxidants we know of. It's been shown to reduce oxidative stress, which is a major factor in both aging and nerve damage. So something like a warm tomato salad could be more healing than a cold one. One of my favorites is a simple caprese-style dish: tomato slices with fresh mozzarella or avocado drizzled with olive oil and a few basil leaves. It's elegant but deeply therapeutic. You can also make a quick warm tomato compote by sautéing cherry tomatoes with garlic and olive oil for just a few minutes. The heat breaks down the cell walls and makes the lycopene much more accessible to your digestive system. And the olive oil isn't just for taste. It helps your body absorb fat-soluble antioxidants like lycopene far more effectively. Without it, much of that nutrition just passes through unused. This is a principle that applies across many vegetables. Fat-soluble nutrients need fat to be absorbed. So when you're eating colorful vegetables, always include a source of healthy fat, whether that's olive oil, avocado, nuts, or seeds. Texture and temperature impact function, not just flavor. They matter more than people think. Warm foods often calm the digestive system and increase circulation, which improves nutrient delivery to joints and nerves. That's why traditional medicine, both in my Korean heritage and elsewhere, often emphasizes warmth in healing. In Korean medicine, we talk about the concept of Han and Yel, cold and heat. The idea is that the body needs balance, and that cold can create stagnation, while warmth promotes flow and healing. It makes sense because the elderly often struggle with cold hands, poor circulation, and slow digestion. A dish like this, warm and simple, meets the body where it's struggling most. And it's fast to prepare, which means it can be repeated often. That's the true power of food as medicine. Frequency, not intensity. You don't need to eat massive portions. You need to eat the right things regularly, consistently, so your body always has the raw materials it needs. The sixth option is something that's tropical, surprising, and packs even more vitamin C than an orange: guava. It's one of the richest sources of vitamin C on the planet, far beyond oranges or even strawberries. Just 100 grams of guava delivers over 200 milligrams of vitamin C, which the body absolutely needs to even begin producing collagen. That's why I pair it with Greek yogurt to add protein and create a healing restorative bowl. For context, that's more than twice the recommended daily intake of vitamin C in a single serving. This combination addresses multiple systems at once. The yogurt brings in amino acids to support collagen production, while the guava boosts immune resilience and tissue regeneration. The probiotics in yogurt also support gut health, which, as we discussed earlier, has a direct impact on inflammation and nerve function. Greek yogurt is particularly good because it's strained, which means it has more protein and less sugar than regular yogurt. Often within weeks, people report less stiffness in the mornings, steadier hands, even improvements in balance and coordination. I had one patient who couldn't hold a pen steady enough to write her own checks. She started eating this combination every morning, and within 3 weeks, she was not only writing checks, but also working on crossword puzzles again. Now, was it just the guava and yogurt? Probably not, but it was a catalyst. It gave her body what it needed to start repairing, and that physical improvement gave her the confidence to stay active and engaged. This is better tolerated than supplements for most seniors. Guava yogurt is gentle on digestion, and it also helps stabilize blood sugar, which is often linked to nerve discomfort and inflammation. That's especially important for anyone managing prediabetes or metabolic issues. High blood sugar damages nerves directly. It's called diabetic neuropathy, and it's one of the most common causes of that tingling, burning sensation in the hands and feet. By stabilizing blood sugar with low glycemic foods like this, you're protecting your nerves from further damage. It's incredible to think that a single snack, when designed with purpose, can address inflammation, collagen loss, and even nerve signaling all at once. That's the principle I teach every day. Synergy. When nutrients are combined thoughtfully, they work better together than they do alone. This is something pharmaceutical science tries to replicate, but often falls short. You can't bottle synergy. You can't patent the way whole foods work together in the body. We're not adding pressure or cost. We're bringing joy and nourishment back to the healing process. For those who want something a bit tangier, maybe with a little crunch, the seventh option is kiwi. It's tart, bright, and incredibly dense in vitamin C. Just 2 to 3 kiwis a day can dramatically increase collagen production. But more importantly for seniors, kiwi supports nerve conductivity, which is key for reducing that tingling or pins and needles sensation. When paired with nuts like almonds or walnuts, it becomes a quick snack that supports both regeneration and nerve signaling. Most people would never guess kiwi as a nerve support food. But there's research showing that the combination of vitamin C, vitamin E, and potassium in kiwi, has a direct effect on nerve function. These nutrients help maintain the electrical potential across nerve membranes, which is what allows signals to travel properly. When that potential is disrupted, you get misfiring, tingling, numbness, or weakness. And the texture is helpful too. It's soft enough for sensitive mouths, but when topped with crushed nuts, it stimulates chewing, digestion, and even blood flow. The act of chewing itself is important. It sends signals to your brain that food is coming, which triggers the release of digestive enzymes. It also increases blood flow to the jaw and face, which many seniors need, because reduced chewing over time can contribute to facial muscle weakness and even cognitive decline. A pinch of chili flakes or sea salt can enhance circulation and give a mild thermogenic effect, which helps with nutrient delivery for those who enjoy bolder flavors. It's an easy way to upgrade the therapeutic impact. The capsaicin in chili has been shown to improve circulation and even reduce certain types of nerve pain. Obviously, this isn't for everyone. If you have a sensitive stomach or acid reflux, skip the chili. But for those who can tolerate it, it's a powerful addition. Even a small tweak in seasoning can elevate how the body absorbs and uses the nutrients. Food isn't just about what's on the plate, it's about how your body receives it. And for seniors, circulation and gut health are two of the biggest barriers to proper healing. When someone understands the why, they're more likely to follow through and actually feel results. You can feel that shift. You move with more stability. You stop fearing your own limbs. And suddenly, a simple snack becomes a source of confidence. I've seen this transformation so many times. Someone comes in defeated, convinced their body is failing them. And then they start making these small, intentional changes. And bit by bit, function returns. It's not dramatic, it's not instant, but it's real and it's lasting. Now, the eighth and final option is something sweet, enzyme-rich, and known to ease both inflammation and digestion. Pineapple. What makes pineapple unique is the bromelain, a natural enzyme that reduces inflammation deep in the tissues. Combine that with its high vitamin C content, and it becomes a powerful ally for seniors dealing with nerve pain, stiffness, or slow recovery. Bromelain is so effective at reducing inflammation that it's actually used in supplement form to treat sports injuries and post-surgical swelling. It's not just a tropical treat, it's targeting the root of discomfort. When paired with nuts like cashews or macadamia, you get protein and healthy fats that help rebuild damaged tissue, while the bromelain calms the inflammation that's been preventing healing. The combination is important because bromelain on its own can be irritating to an empty stomach. But when you pair it with fats and protein, it's gentled and sustained. I often recommend a sprinkle of cinnamon to help regulate blood sugar and fresh mint to soothe digestion. Together, they turn the snack into something that works across systems, joints, nerves, gut, even mood. Cinnamon has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, which means your cells can use glucose more effectively. That reduces the blood sugar spikes that damage nerves. The mint, as we discussed earlier, soothes the digestive tract and reduces inflammation. It's amazing how one bowl can do all that if it's built intentionally. And the beauty is that it's easy to repeat. You're not forcing the body to do anything unnatural. You're simply giving it the raw materials it's been missing. You're not asking it to perform miracles. You're just removing the barriers that have been preventing it from healing itself. And that's the quiet genius of this approach. You're not chasing symptoms. You're nourishing systems. You're calming the inflammation that's been damaging nerves, feeding the cells that rebuild collagen, and rehydrating the joints that have been crying out for support. And in doing so, you're restoring a kind of strength and sensation that most people thought they'd lost forever. I want to pause here and address something important. Some of you might be thinking, this sounds too simple. If it were this easy, wouldn't everyone be doing it? And that's a fair question. The truth is, it is this simple in concept, but it requires commitment in practice. Our modern food environment is designed to pull us away from these healing foods. It's easier to grab processed snacks, sugary treats, and convenient but nutrient-poor options. So yes, the knowledge is simple, but the execution requires intention. So what kind of change can someone realistically expect? And how fast? If someone adds just one of these snacks a day and does it consistently, the body will begin to respond, not overnight, but gradually, steadily, and meaningfully. The tingling fades, the joints loosen, the legs feel more grounded because you're not masking symptoms. You're rebuilding the foundation. Let me be specific about the timeline because I think it helps people stay motivated. In the first week, you probably won't feel much. Your body is just starting to receive the nutrients it needs. It's like watering a dried-out plant. The first watering doesn't make it bloom. It just starts to stabilize. By week 2 or 3, most people start noticing small changes. Maybe the morning stiffness isn't quite as bad. Maybe the tingling in the hands happens less frequently. Maybe they can walk a little further before their legs feel tired. These are subtle changes, but they're meaningful. By 6 to 8 weeks, the changes become more obvious. Joints move more smoothly. Grip strength improves. Balance feels steadier. And perhaps most importantly, people start to feel hopeful again. They start to believe that their body can heal, that decline isn't inevitable. After 3 to 6 months of consistency, many people report significant improvements. They're doing activities they'd given up on. They're moving with confidence. They're sleeping better because they're not waking up with aching joints or tingling hands. And they're often able to reduce or eliminate some of the medications they thought they'd be on forever. And that's what makes this message so important. We're not telling people to overhaul their entire lives. We're inviting them to rethink the small things they already do every day. And if the payoff is more stability, more sensation, and more independence, that's a trade worth making. You don't have to do all 8 of these snacks. Pick 1 or 2 that appeal to you. Commit to them for a month. See how you feel. Then add another one if you want to accelerate the healing. Let me leave you with one line, something simple that captures this whole idea. Eat for the body you want to keep, not just the one you see in the mirror. That one shift in mindset can change how we age, how we heal, and how we live. We're so conditioned to eat for pleasure, for convenience, for comfort. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But what if we also ate with intention? What if we thought about our food as information, as medicine, as building blocks for the life we want to live? So if you're over 60 and you've been wondering why your hands tingle or your legs feel like jelly, now you know where to start. Don't wait for a diagnosis to take action. Start with what's on your plate. Your body is already trying to heal itself. It's been trying all along. You just need to give it the tools to do the job. And if you've made it this far, leave us a comment. Tell me which of these 8 snacks you're going to try first. Tell me what symptoms you're dealing with and what you're hoping to improve. It lets us know you're committed to taking charge of your health, and it helps us create content that's even more relevant to your needs. Make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're going to keep exploring these connections between nutrition and healing, between simple foods and profound changes. Until next time, stay well, stay curious, and keep making smart choices here on Dr. Carter's Senior Health Guide. Remember, aging is inevitable, but decline is optional. You have more control than you think. And it starts with what you put on your plate today.